So if you're just focused on your short term, you're obviously not going to last long term. Again, I think that's dating. You are focused on the now. You're focused on what you see right in front of you. You're not focused on actually building. Hello, and welcome back to another episode here on The Bridge Reacts, and I'm your host here on the channel, Marcus. Thank you so much for stopping by to see another episode of The Bridge, where we're talking about good things, we're talking about great things, and we're also talking about positive things as well. Here on The Bridge, where we believe in the nuclear family, we believe mom and dad being in the household together to raise a child so they can be great assets to society, less statistics, a stronger working class and community. If you like what we talk about here on the channel, please subscribe, hit the like button, notification bell as well. We really appreciate it, and welcome to the channel. You actually came at the right time because we are actually trying to hit a goal by the end of this year, 500 subscribers. And since you're here, if you don't mind hitting the subscribe button, the like button, notification bell as well, we really appreciate it. And thank you so much for supporting us. We really appreciate that. In today's video, we are talking about something a little bit different. This is a reaction channel and commentary, discussions to a degree as well. We usually just react to videos. I give my takes and then my final take towards the end, my final thoughts. And then we just wrap it up with a message or a theme for the video. In this video, I want to kind of change the framework a little bit. And you can let me know in the comment section if you like it or not. We can go back to the other method. I'm just going to kind of flip flop and just, have different types of content on this channel. The normalization of dating and how it has negatively affected marriages, right? And long lasting relationships altogether. And I kind of have like 5 points that have to do with this and what I mean by that. My whole point is that dating nowadays is actually very much so harmful for individuals who want to marry or have long lasting relationships. Here's why. Number one, casual dating culture. And what I mean by casual dating culture, basically the erosion of commitment. We are so quick with instant gratification, us trying to either buy things online. We want things now. We want to be able to eat something now. We don't want to wait to cook it or, smoke something like we used to do back in the day and our uncles at the cookout making food for us. We want things now. We rather go and Uber Eat, DoorDash. We also in relationships seem to want things quickly. And that's actually harming us, I believe. Personally, I believe that because a lot of individuals are out here speed dating. They're just getting straight to it. They're just getting straight to the sex. They're getting straight to whatever they can do to benefit or get something out of this relationship or situationship instead of offering what they potentially have to offer to the relationship, situationship to the other person. And there's a study showing that casual dating apps like Tinder have contributed to the rise of short-term relationships and hookups. According to the 2019 study, and this is on ChatGPT, according to a 2019 study, 60% of users on dating apps were primarily seeking casual encounters, which undermines the desire for long-lasting relationships. So again, adding to the point where it's just everything's so quick. No one's really trying to invest. And when you invest, you can uncover more, not only about the other person, but about yourself and about yourself within relationships and hopefully long lasting ones, right? Truly, how are you supposed to have some kind of emotional connection with someone when you met them for 3 or 4 days? You're already bumping butts together. You're already getting into arguments and you're not really understanding each other. You're not even asking the right questions, open-ended questions. You're not experiencing certain experiences together other than trying to get something out of each other or go to dinner and get something like food and get someone to pay for you or just go back home and have stuff like that, which a lot of the dating scene is about, unfortunately. My second point, the consequences of hookup culture and mental health. And what I mean by that, basically saying that casual sex and frequently short-term relationships have a profound negative impact on the mental and emotional well-being. This kind of dating creates an emotional roller coaster that undermines people's ability to form deep, trusting bonds necessary for marriage. If you want to be married, you need to have those very deep bonds. You need to go a lot deeper than surface level conversations, surface level intimacy and actions. I mean, a lot of people are just, they just want to get straight to the bed sheets. They just want to get straight to what can you put in my hand? What can you do for my, light bill, phone bill, nails, whatever. I know that's a lot of the YouTube space and red pill or manosphere and content creators say that stuff, but to a degree that is true. A lot of people aren't taking dating seriously. They're just kind of in it for the moment. If you're just in it for the moment, what does that do to the psyche when you're thinking long-term or you're thinking about marriages? That's just my take on that. Research has shown that people who engage in casual sex are more likely to experience feelings of emptiness, loneliness, and regret, especially ladies because we are built different. One study from the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that those who engage in casual sex report lower life satisfaction and more psychological distress compared to those who committed in relationships. When we treat sex like a handshake, What is that going to do when you're trying to form that physical, intimate bond with someone that's going to be a life partner or a long lasting relationship? Just like that one girl we did a video not too long ago. She had 100 different partners within 101 different partners within 14 hours, and then filmed it or had them film themselves doing whatever to her. But how is she going to be mentally stable for a long-term relationship or marriage when she's so quick to just be able to jump from man to man like it's nothing, like it's a handshake, like it's not someone entering your temple, your body, the place that you're supposed to protect the most that God gave you? You only get one of those. And being very selective of who you allow in, and yes, I am talking about the ladies now, you need to be really selective of who you let in. Just like men, we need to be very selective of who we go into, because there is a spiritual thing, that there's an exchange, a soul tie. Is that what they call it? Soul ties as well. There is an actual exchange of energy. And if you're just doing that willy-nilly, bro, that is dangerous. Like spiritually, that is very dangerous, and physically, it's very dangerous. And then to this point, mentally and emotionally as well. My third point, fear of long-term commitment. So the overview of this, dating has replaced marriage as the default relationship model. A lot of people are dating, or they just want to be together, shacked up together instead of marrying. But this often leaves people emotionally scarred and unprepared for marriage. The more you date without commitment, the harder it becomes to trust and build a lasting bond with someone else. There's some statistics too from ChatGPT. According to the Pew Research Center, the share of adults who are married has fallen from 72% in 1960 to just 50% in 2020. In the same period, the average age at which people marry has risen from 20 for women and 23 for men to 28 and 30 respectively, which shows a shift away from early and committed marriages. So basically the point that I'm trying to make here, in the fear of long-term commitment, over time, the experience is going to be through multiple relationships without an intention. Remember that word, intention of marriage creates a generation that is afraid of true commitment and is increasingly cynical about the institutions of marriage itself. So if you are having these like really short-term relationships and you don't have long-term expectations, then how are you expected to be in a long-term relationship or marriage? And again, I feel as though dating has become that. It's become this cynical thing where you are just meeting someone, you get to learn a little bit about them, you get to do what you want with them to a degree, if you get that far, if you even make it to that point, and then it just dwells down. It's just like people get so bored easily too. And I think that's a big part of this point I'm making here on this topic, is that you get so bored so easily. So when you're in an actual committed marriage and you're building with someone, who's to say you won't get bored in the process of trying to actually building and grow a deeper connection with that individual? So my fourth point, revolution and its impact on marriage. So we're getting a little bit into like the feminist movement and stuff like that, where you're feeling empowered by allowing a lot of people to access your temple, and what that would do to the psyche, what that would do to your spirit spiritually as well. The revolution promoted a cultural liberation. It's a funny word, but its long-term effects on marriage have been devastating. Instead of sex being seen as a sacred part of a marital bond, it's become a commodity traded freely as casual dating. Literally, this has made marriage seem like an afterthought for many, just because of this alone. And some statistics on this: according to the National Library of Medicine, the rise of premarital correlates with the increase of divorce rates. Data from the National Marriage Project has shown that couples who live together before marriage are 33% likely to divorce than those who don't. The normalization of casual sex has made many people feel that they can live fulfilling lives without any emotional or physical commitment of marriage. This in turn has devalued marriage and discouraged people from seeking long life partners. Basically, summing up my whole point for this part of the video, literally, if you are just having casual sex left and right, how are you going to withstand a long-term relationship with one person when you're supposed to be committed and not, cheating on that individual and being a terrible spouse, right? My fifth point, the solution, instead of doing the whole dating, speed dating, situationship, all that, literally is just the old school method. Courting. To rebuild faith in marriage, we need to reject the normalization of casual dating and return to more intentional forms of relationship building, like courting. Courting involves emotional investment, mutual respect, the focus of long-term compatibility rather than short-term pleasure. So I'm going to be real here, and I think that there's a lot of reasons why individuals are out here having sex before marriage anyways. It's everywhere. It's in all the TV shows, it's in all the movies, it's in all the books. I'm sure you've seen plenty of content online that talks about this all the time. You might have talked about this with your friends too. is literally everywhere. You can't get away from it. It's on kid apps and stuff, and like ads and stuff, or like on the YouTube Kids. There's some weird stuff too. It's everywhere. You can't really even escape it anymore. And I wonder why that is. Studies show that couples who engage in more intentional courtship like dating have stronger marriages. For instance, a National Marriage Project found that couples who prioritize shared values, emotional intimacy, long-term compatibility are 60% more likely to stay married compared to those who focus primarily on physical attraction and short-term compatibility. So if you're just focused on your short-term, you're obviously not going to last long term. Again, I think that's dating. You are focused on the now. You're focused on what you see right in front of you. You're not focused on actually building. That's basically my take on why I think dating is absolutely atrocious, and it is a waste of time. On top of that, it is not going to help you qualify for marriage. Courting will, if you are able to be much more intentional, if you're able to actually be someone who is able to offer versus what can I get out of this? What can I add to this? A lot of people don't ask those questions. But those are my takes on courting versus dating. Dating is terrible for individuals who want to be in long-lasting relationships and marriage. Tell me your thoughts. Let me know in the comment section, and let me know how you feel about a video like this. Because the whole point of it, it all started like what, over 2000 some BC, Mesopotamia. This is ancient, like bringing two families together in a bond to strengthen both families. Not necessarily because of love. It should transpire to that hopefully in the future. You know, there should be some love in there, but it is about community. It's about adding dynasties and building kingdoms together. How are we supposed to do that? Why are we in shambles now? We're not building dynasties. We're not building kingdoms. We are doing things for self-gratification, and we're doing things for quick pleasure as well. Short-term things. We're not thinking long-term. We're thinking Saturday night. We're not thinking 3 generations ahead, right? So tell me what you think once again, and I will catch you guys in the next video. You guys have a nice one. See you.